You know what you should do? You should follow me on Twitter at Brommer018. Link in the description. Do it now. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another FIFA 21 update video. I've literally just uploaded a video regarding the career mode announcement and all the features coming out there, but I also want to do another video covering the gameplay features announcement. Of course, EA, along with the link, they tweeted announcements for all sorts. Career mode, we had the game mode that we don't mention, we had Volta as well, and we also had the gameplay section, and that's really what I want to look at today, covering all of the announcements. So of course we are on the link here on the press release, and there's one thing, obviously, it's harder to judge these sort of things because these aren't black and white features. It's harder to judge things such as this dribbling that we'll go into until we get our hands on the game, until we get our hands on the demo at least, and we see some gameplay on, you know, from EA and stuff in the reveals. But the reason why I want to cover this is because a lot of these features that they do talk about, that they, you know, do claim to have improved, are actually things that, you know, I know for certain I've gone into depth a lot across videos on my channel about what they need to improve on. A lot of you guys have as well, such as things like the heading and positioning that we'll get onto shortly. So I really wanted to cover this one as well. And be sure, as always, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Are you optimistic following today's announcements, or are you still quite cautious because, you know, we know that EA do have a tendency to messy sort of things up? So as always, be sure to get me in the comment section and subscribe as well for more regular FIFA 21 content. So let's get into this. Obviously, they've got the normal punchline at the top, and first off, they talk about the Agile dribbling system. This one is sort of one that they sell every year. They say faster footwork gives you more control and responsiveness in one-on-one situations. And new skill moves like the bridge dribble and ball fake turn provides you with the means to explode past defenders. Now, the most important thing here I want to focus on is the responsiveness. Potentially the biggest issue with FIFA 20 gameplay, in my opinion, was the input lag, the lack of responsiveness. You'd press a button and it would feel like an eternity for them to sort of respond to what you said, and by which time you've lost the ball, or the run's offside that you want to make a pass, etc, etc. The responsiveness, in particular dribbling, and they do talk about this later on in the press release as well, that's very important. So I'm hoping that is something that they've really sort of put into, and the fact that we're moving on to next gen as well, I think you'll find that it could become less and less of an issue, to the point where, you know, it's almost instant. So it's worth bearing in mind that as well. The next one is one that I'm really intrigued at, because this is perhaps one of the most important things. New positioning personality raises the importance of positional awareness. World-class forwards will hold their runs to stay level with the last defender. To stay onside, playmakers will hunt for space to operate between the lines, while the best defenders will close down passing lanes more effectively to make it harder for the opposition to create opportunities. Again, the positioning is one of the most irritating things, and it all comes down to the fact that the AI are just quite lazy, not very intelligent, not very active. With this, it does make it sound, and generally the whole sort of press release and statement about the gameplay is that they're just trying to improve sort of the responsiveness, the activity of the AI, a whole lot of things, just all out intelligence. So that's another important thing, something that really gets me sort of hoping and praying that this is something that they have improved on, that they've focused on massively, and something that we could see, you know, really sort of play a part in the next game. You can couple that with obviously creative runs as well, give you new options for influencing your team's movement off the ball, revolutionising attacking, build-up play in FIFA 21 and providing you with more ways to break down a defence. So obviously, again, we need to see this in action, but it sounds to me like you're going to have extra buttons, extra functions maybe to instigate moves for your teammates to you know, create more movement, and therefore make it easier to create and build up attacking opportunities, which again is very important, something that I've been looking for and something that I've been asking for in recent years, because as you know, I've also already alluded to, AI just too stagnant. It's so easy for moves just to easily break down and stagnate because there's not a lot going on. So again, that's sort of interesting to see as well. And they go on to say, in FIFA 21, key footballing moments including goal-mouth scrambles, battle for possession in midfield, and attacking duels will resolve more naturally, resulting in smoother encounters between players as they strive to reach a ball. Again, as I say, we'll wait and see how that one works. But then there's one that I want to talk about in this. Informed by feedback from the community, revisions to the fundamentals of football in FIFA raise the game throughout the pitch with manual headers, more balanced blocking, more intelligent passing, and increased responsiveness, giving you more control on and off the ball. So the thing that's most important to me is the manual headers. Now, something that I talked about a lot in my AC Milan career mode that I did earlier on in the season was that, you know, headers, you just feel like you've got no control over them. It's sort of a hit and hope as soon as it bounces off your player's head, essentially. And so with this, just giving you more control. Obviously, they've also tried to, as I mentioned earlier, sort of push out that responsiveness issue as well that has plagued us so much for the last couple of years or so. But in particular, obviously, the manual headers, that's something that I'm very, very keen to see. I know a lot of people are thinking the same as well, because at the moment it just feels too much of an automated process. You don't get as much control, and hopefully that helps with the whole crossing issue as well, where, you know, this year crossing was just completely irrelevant. There was no point in doing it because it just didn't have much of an upside. So, you know, with that, again, that gives me somewhat cause for optimism. Like I say, we'll wait and see. And finally, it says replicating the play style of the best FIFA players in the world. The competitor mode setting gives your opposition a better grasp of skill moves, dribbling types and tactics to give you a more challenging and rewarding opponent to match up with on legendary and ultimate difficulty. So we shall see. Hopefully that brings tuning to the ultimate difficulty that, of course, they absolutely butchered and ruined on career mode. Hopefully that has sorted it out, because otherwise it will all be for nothing, at least for me anyway, because I just could not play career mode after they made those tuning changes to ultimate difficulty. So we'll wait and see. Again, like I say, and I said in the last video as well, cautiously optimistic. You know, it's just got me feeling, you know, sort of positive about what can come. There's lots of content that can come from the channel as well as a result of this. But obviously we have to wait and see what it's like. And the first taste we'll get is the reveals in August, which I will cover on this channel. So make sure you do subscribe and you do hit that bell so that you get notifications, and I will make sure to update the channel with more videos every time there is more news. And I know we are going to finish it off there. Please drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and make sure, as always, to get your thoughts in the comment section down below. On that note, we are going to finish it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.